What's up guys, I'm Nathan and in this video I'll be showing guys the updated anime adventures tier list for the new Jujutsu Kaisen update. Bit delayed with this one since I was a bit sick, but yeah. S tier is gonna be for the characters that are meta and kind of close to meta. A tier is gonna be the characters that are very good. B tier is gonna be characters that are good for beginners. C tier is gonna be characters okay for beginners, and D tier is gonna be characters bad even for beginners. Gojo, now I know this is just the masked version of himself, but we'll just assume that all the mythics here are the evolved versions, except for Rengoku when the evolved and unevolved were actually added separately. But yeah, Gojo has his limitless. He's got his time stop, which time stops the entire map for 8.5 seconds, doubles his damage. It's just he's probably one of the best characters in the game right now, so it's a no-brainer. He's in top S tier. Then we have this character, one of the new ones that we got. She's gonna be in B tier, not too bad. She actually does have higher range compared to other legendaries. Then we have Lelouch. He's gonna be there. He is a summoner, which is why, despite of course being a secret unit, pretty hard to get, he does have those soldiers as his summons who also do have ranged attacks. It's just that it's not really that great since it's essentially single target. Then we have Ace, who's also going to be in, I would say, B tier. Then we have Luffy Marineford, D tier. Then we have future Gohan, who I'm actually going to move him down to B tier. We're going to kind of move up the standards, I would say, for A tier. We'll just see how that goes. If you do have anything that you disagree with, be sure to let me know. Then we have Eren, again a summoner. Then we have Kisuke, who does buff your SPA as well as range, so he's of course still very good. Then we have Genos. We have Sanji, who's actually really cheap. Then we have Piccolo, who has good range. Then we have Levi, who does have crit, and I do think he's a heal unit as well, so I'll go ahead and put him in tier. Then we have Speedwagon, who will be right there. He's not as good as Bulma, so I'll put him in A tier for now. But yeah, they both are money units. Then we have Akenu, who I'll go ahead and put in S tier because he's an air unit and he's also a burning unit, which is good against the ice mages. Then we have this dude, Crocodile, who I'm gonna go ahead and put in, I would say, top D tier. He does have good AoE for an epic. Then we have Zenitsu, who I'll put right about there. Then we have Gara, who does stun, which is not bad. Then we have Trafalgar Law. We've got Erwin, who's of course very good because he'll give you that 25% buff, which is essential. Then we have Trunks, who's going to be in S tier. He's got full AoE with pretty good DPS. Then we have Whitebeard, who was buffed but still isn't particularly good, but I'll go ahead and keep him in A tier. Then we have Kento Nanami, who is also going to be a solid S tier. He increases his damage by 1% every single wave, so he's of course another really good character. Then we have Blackbeard, who is going to be in A tier because he curses, which gives you extra 15% damage. Then we have oof, still sick. Yeah, then we have Goku Black. We've got Mihawk, who's got good range but bad AoE. We've got Sakura, who does buff, and it's actually going to be automatic, like you don't need to keep renewing it like with Owen. Then we have Giorno, who I'm going to move down to C tier. Then we have Super Perfect Cell, who is going to be right about there. He is an air unit, and of course it's going to be helpful. You can alternate between this character, so Lightning or Jeliel. All of them will suffice. All of them will be able to handle the air enemies. Then we have Goku, who's going to be right about there, C tier as well. Then we have this dude, he's going to be right there. He stuns, but it's single target. Then we have All Might. He was buffed, so I'm actually not really sure where to put him. I'm gonna go and put him in bottom S tier for now because he does have more DPS now and he does have more range as well. I'll just go and put him in top A tier, but I'll probably create a poll for this. Then we have Frieza, who's gonna be right about here. He does have good AoE as well. Todoroki will be able to provide slowness, which is not too bad. I'll put him right there. Then we have Broly, who hits air now, and his damage was also buffed a bit. So yeah, Whitebeard was also buffed if I'm not mistaken, but I'll still say that Broly is definitely better. Then we have Killua, who is not particularly good. Then we have the mythical version of Rengoku. He'll be right there because again, as a boarding unit, he will suffice against the ice mages who take much more damage from the boarding units. Then we have Kisuke. This is the unevolved version, so he's gonna be right about there, not that great. Then we have the Madara, who is gonna be right there. Pretty sure he was also buffed last update, but he's still not particularly good. Then we have Bulma. We've got Uryu, who is an air unit, but like kind of outclassed by most of the newer ones that we have. Then we have Kakyoin, who has decent AoE. Then we have Aizen, who I'll say is probably lower down on A tier. He does have a support ability, which is why I'll not put him in B tier. Then we have Shanks, who's going to be around in S tier because he does have a time stop ability with full AoE, decently good DPS. Then we have Luffy. Then we have Overhaul, another epic. Then we have Kite, who has changing attack mechanics, meaning he's not very consistent. But you know, I'll say that he's still pretty decent. So I'll go ahead and put him like top A tier. Then we have Itadori, who actually doesn't have an evolution. I'm gonna go ahead and put him here because he probably will get it in the second part of this update. And considering he's not evolved yet or doesn't have an evolution yet, he's got surprisingly solid DPS. It's like around 1750. It's just a fairly low level, so it's actually good, I would say. Then we have Gildarts, who's gonna be like right next to Trunks, I would say. Jeliel is gonna be right there, right below Cell. Urza Trueheart is pretty decent actually. I'll go ahead and put her right there. Then we have she's gonna be the bleeding variant of Urza. Then we have Kizaru, who's gonna be right there. He's an air unit as well. Though I think Nobara is actually a much better version if you just want an air unit. Then Diavolo, I mean, he's just a terrible version of Gojo, but you know what, I won't keep him in B tier because at least he does have side ability. You know, forget it, I'll just go ahead and put Future Gohan as well up here, and Diavolo can also be around there. Then we have Ulquiorra, who I think I'm gonna actually move down to A tier. I don't really think he will be meta anymore. Like, his DPS just doesn't suffice, in my opinion. Then we have Coyote Stark, who I would say is still S tier, but definitely a lot lower than before. Then we have just the mythical version of Rengoku, as in the unevolved version. He's just gonna be there. Then we have Dio, who is gonna be able to time stop. It's of course really helpful in challenges and stuff, and of course you can use it in Infinite as well because it's an automatic time stop, and who would complain about that? Then we have Armin, I would say pretty decent B tier. He does have big AoE, it's just that it's manual and it's really slow. Then we have Kakashi, who's gonna be right there. Karakuri is going to be a slower unit, so it's of course essential. Gonna go ahead and put him right there. Pain is going to be able to push enemies back. I would say that's going to be a pretty solid D tier if you really want that. Then you have Miriam, who I'll put in, I would say, lower S tier. I'm putting him below Akenu because Akenu does burn as well as being a heal unit, so it's like a dual purpose if you're bringing him along for Infinite. Then we have Pito, who I'll go ahead and put right about there. Pito is of course going to be a pretty good bleeder in case you don't have Urza Trueheart or don't really want to gamble for her. So I'll just go ahead and put Pito right there. Then we have I'll put Peter actually a little bit higher, because I'll just put it maybe here. Yeah, that should be fair. Then we have Jotaro, who I would say will be like probably in, I would say that should be about fine, because he will be doing manual time stop, but his DPS is pretty bad. Itachi is gonna be right about there. Again, an air unit. I think he does Amaterasu burn. Dabi also does burn. Where did Dabi go? Oh, I put Dabi in D by mistake. Okay. He should be there. Then we have Lucy, who I wouldn't really say is meta. I wouldn't say it's S tier. So I'll just go and put her in top A tier. I mean, just because she's a summoner, I know her DPS is pretty solid. I know she's her stuff summons even do have a bit of AoE, but only her summons can only. I think she only summons again once her previous summons already have died, which is why I just don't think it's gonna be S tier. Then we have Aaron Founding Titan, who also has ridiculous amounts of damage, but I just don't feel like it's really deserving of S tier. Despite having millions of HP, just because it's a summoner unit. Then we have Urza Lightning, gonna be right above Cell, because air unit and really good DPS. Then we have Natsu, who's gonna be capable of burning, which is of course really helpful. Urza Valkyrie is just a really high DPS unit, so I'm gonna go ahead and place her right there. Netero is definitely gonna be a solid A tier. Then we have Naruto, who I would say is kind of low down on A tier, maybe above the unevolved characters. I'll say right about there should be fair for him. Then we have the unevolved version of himself, which will be probably around here. Then we have Zeke, who just has good range, but not really very high damage. But I think it's an air unit as well, so that's pretty good. Then we have Killua, who is like really fast and also stuns, so that's definitely pretty decent. We have Gon, who I'm actually gonna put a lot lower now, because like while he does have full AoE and decently good damage, the thing is his slow SPA and lack of DPS will really start to show when you get into the higher waves, because you're just not going to be able to put out nearly enough damage to kill anything. Then we have another one of the new characters, Megumi, if I'm not mistaken. He's a pretty decent support, so I'll go ahead and put him right there. Josu is probably just gonna be I would say an A tier. Not really that great anymore, because Pito and of course even better as a True Heart exist, so I'll just go ahead and put Josu a bit lower there. Noro, I would say, is still holding a spot in B tier. Then we have this other new character as well, also a decent one, but I would say what's her name? Nobara would be better, because it's actually an air, but this dude also does stun, so that's good to know. I'll actually say that he's higher. Then we have Toge, who I'll go and put right there. She's not bad. Then we have Tatara, who's gonna be right about here, because he does burn, so it's decent. Then we have Renzi, who will be right there. We have Ito, who was buffed, but she's still not very good. I'll go ahead and put her right about, maybe below, right about there. Then we have Kaneki, who I'll say is right there just because he's able to bleed. Then we have Rima, who will be right next to Netero. Then we have Akaza, who is actually pretty good. I'll go ahead and put him in top B tier. Then we have the evolved version of Akaza, who will be in a decent spot, I would say, in A tier. Then we have Grimjow, who I'll say is a little bit lower in B tier, just because his AoE is really narrow. Then we have Ichigo Hollow, Then we've got this dude who's got full AoE if I'm correct. Then we have Rukia, who is able to freeze with full AoE. It's of course pretty good, but like you lose out on a lot of DPS using just a legendary, so I'll just go and put bottom A tier, I would say. Then you have Hisoka, who's able to slow and stun, which is why it does have an edge over Toge or Toge, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Then we have Gon, who is not bad because you can actually further evolve him into the mythical, which is of course a pretty good investment. Then we have Grey, who will be able to freeze, which is obviously very, very helpful. So I'll go and put him right about there. Then we have Juvia and Gajeel, which are the two previous ones that we legendaries that we got, and they also are quite actually pretty good for legendaries. I'm just putting Nobara higher because she's also going to have the ability to hit air. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tier list. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you.